Yeah, they say I got the pre-roll this week, but I ain't got nothing to say. Let's start. Action.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to the ITL Podcast. I go by the name Johnny Will.
This is Nationwide Nate.
Cartier King cashing in.
And we are the amateur professionals, fellas, man. It's been one of them weeks for me, man. It's been a busy week. And on top of that, I got the itis because it's vacation week at the same time. Well, my last week until vacation. And then I woke up with a banging ass headache, which is why I'm in these glasses if you're watching on YouTube, man. How's it been going for y'all?
Man, that's busy for me too, man. Early nights, late, what is it? Early mornings, late nights, when I can't even get it out.
Yeah. You've been going hard. And Nate, man, when
I've been in chill mode, man.
We was at Top Golf this past weekend, and we had Coach Beach over here,
swing coach,
and he ended up. I think he did pretty good. I almost created a burner Twitter and just get on there and start dissing, like let him feel these shots. Like appreciate the lesson, Coach. If you get on my burner Twitter, man, bitch, let you know how I really feel. But man. KD, man, what does it say? What's his burner Twitter say about KD? He first released the shoes, and he put all the negative comments on the shoes, and now he's doing this burner Twitter, and he had a few commercials back in the day, right, to where he was like mean KD or something like that. Yeah, it was something like that. So he is trying to become a villain. When LeBron switched teams, LeBron didn't do well as a villain. KD is trying to become a villain, but he's still such a nice guy. And they just won't give him the villain role. What is this burner Twitter, hashtag burner Twitter mean?
I mean, man, he's trying to control his narrative of how people look at him instead of just letting it happen. I mean, LeBron kind of did that to an extent with, how he manufactured or tried to persuade people to join teams and with the recruiting. But I feel like that was more natural in the game. Like, that was trying to get people to come and join you to play, and then whatever happens, happens. But, like, you make a fake Twitter, you out there sharing these opinions. Like, it's enough people to defend you out there. You don't need a fake burner Twitter, man.
I disagree. I think everybody needs a burner Twitter. I think we all need one just to get something off your chest. Just think if your girl make you mad, you just get on your burner Twitter and you sitting on the couch next to her, right next to her, you just letting her have it. Not liking the pics, but you comment on all the pics.
I'm a huge KD fan, man. But I think the burner Twitter is kind of soft, man. I think it's a way for him to call out his teammates without necessarily being so direct. And it's like, if you feel like your teammates weren't good enough, you say it, man up and you say it yourself.
So I got a question for you. Had he owned up to, well, he did own up to it when he confirmed it, but had he just outright said it instead of doing it with a burner Twitter, you would have called him soft for that too. Because you would have said, like, yo, you already got your title. You already a champion. Why you even come at your teammates?
Well, I agree there. I don't think he should have called anybody out.
So it wasn't the burner Twitter. It was the fact that...
I don't think he should reflect, period, on OKC now that he's gone. Like, that's something you should have been saying to your front office, and maybe he did. We don't know. But that's something you should have said to your front office and kept that in-house.
But, I mean,
no need to share it on Twitter.
Office, my thing ain't even smooth. Like...
No, I think all great players.
Jordan went out and told every player he thought was a bum, he was a bum. Same thing with Kobe. That's probably why he's your favorite player. So, and same thing with Shaq. Like, he just soft, bruh. It's been proven over and over again.
That's why he did the cupcakes.
Exactly.
But he a winner.
He a bunt cake, man.
What's that?
A bunt cake. He a walking bunt cake.
So, at the end of the day, though, I just think he really doesn't feel 100% confident in the decision he made because obviously, even though you're a champion,
he's still defending.
He's still defending. Even though you're a champion, there's always going to be people out there like, yo, you couldn't win it without this squad, so that's always going to hunt him. And I wanted to hunt him. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, but he did give Russ his props though, and you could tell it was KD because he called him Russell. Nobody called Russ Russell, but
right.
KD.
Russell.
They also unveiled the new Nike uniforms.
Nice.
And what's dope about it, we talked about bringing the Melo hoodie. They got the first ever warm-up hoodies. And I think that we can give Melo that credit for Nike introducing the warm-up hoodies. But what I thought was really dope about it is when you buy your favorite player's jersey, when it come in the mail, it come with like a communication chip, so you can tune
so
into
you
their
scan-
playlist, what they listening to right before the game, and I don't know what the other communication part of it is. What is
It's like,
it like?
you just watch highlights and
Oh,
things.
okay. I didn't know it was
it's
like
a dope marketing idea from Nike.
Yeah, I know it was like a Nike Run app, and it's just
Yeah.
like somebody motivating you while you putting on the
It's super
shirt.
dope,
crazy.
and Nike is crazy, man. Just everything from the technology that they put into the uniforms and
There's
just
one company
designs
that's
and
gonna take them
everything.
down though.
Who?
Evolve.
Oh,
He like, who?
Don't speak on their name. Right? What you think of the jerseys, though, Cartier?
Man, I think they dope. If I had to pick my favorite one out of it, I like Boston's alternate. It's black and green with white trim on the numbers, man. It's nasty. It's sick.
How dare you?
I mean, I'm just saying, man. You got to give them they just do. They going to look good losing. But you know what I mean? What else? OKC got
that
navy
blue.
jerseys.
Yeah, them nasty.
They nasty. They out of that funny blue. As far as their alternates, or like that orange was their
Yeah,
alternate.
that sunset orange. Nike just have a way of making everything look better, man. I don't know what it is.
Nah, man. I mean, and then they kept some the same. I really wish they would have done something with that Heat jersey. That thing's been around since Tim Hardaway, man, and the crossover. So, I wish they would have changed that. And Minnesota's jerseys is dope. I thought,
look sick.
they added that Seattle Seahawks colorway, and I was thinking like maybe that's not gonna work for an NBA team, and how they gonna pull that off. So I think it's dope though.
I think with the NBA, the way they color wave is they are embracing the fact that players gonna wear these flashy shoes, and that shoe deal money, the players is loving it. I'm thinking the players union is a lot better. The NBA players union is a lot better than the NFL because they can't bargain nothing right. It
Man,
seems like
it's peaceful in the NBA. In the NFL, it's mayhem.
It's not even about that, man. It's just your owners in the NBA is like, on average younger than the NFL. I think they more progressive than NFL owners. And NFL owners, they're not giving up power. They're not trying to give up any money. And as long as you got players who won't stick together and willing to strike as a union, they never win any of their, arguments or whatever they want to accomplish in these bargaining agreements.
Yeah. And speaking of putting everything on wax, one person that didn't use a burner Twitter was the Giants head coach when he threw Eli under the bus. So the Giants was at the goal line going for it on fourth down. And next thing you know, Eli got to delay a game, and they asked, why didn't you call timeout? And the coach said, I got a veteran quarterback that played a lot of football. I expect to get the snap off. So what do you think of him being straightforward and throwing his veteran quarterback under the bus? And it ain't like he is Tom Coughlin, have been around for years.
Hey,
let him know.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
am I the only person who think Eli is overrated?
No, you're not.
Okay,
I was about to
just
say,
making
no
sure.
way
Because
Nah, I mean,
I think he should be traded personally, honestly, to be being real.
The decline?
It's not even about the decline. I feel like he's always been suspect in my opinion. He had two great runs where actually
Playoff runs.
two great playoff runs that was actually
Defense. Yeah.
They were carried by their defense, and he got 2 Super Bowls. So he's living off that. And I don't want to take nothing away from him, but he living off that.
I don't even know if it was carried by the defense. Those teams had running games.
That too.
You know what I mean? Like when you
Ticky didn't win it. Who was the running back? Was it Brandon Jacobs?
Brandon
I was
Jacobs.
about to say, 'cause
Brandon
Ticky-
Jacobs and Bradshaw in the second one. The first one was
Probably them too.
the same too, I believe.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
saying.
I think they re-signed Brandon Jacobs.
Yeah.
Like way after he played for the he went and played for the 49ers, I think, for a few years.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the thing is, bro, you got to take the ball out of Eli's hands. You can't let him throw the ball 50 times, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Like he needs to be a game manager.
Well-
And I feel like, he's going to game management, and Alex Smith is going away from game management to actually play.
That is true.
You know what I mean?
Overrated or not, that is something basic that you would expect Eli to get the snap off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah,
what's crazy thing about it is they on the goal line, and I think they was about to throw a layup to my man Brandon Marshall, but we ain't gonna talk about him because he didn't cost me 2 weeks in fantasy, bro.
Get rid of him.
Man, I can't yet. But he not gonna play this week. I'm gonna see him on the
Hey,
bench.
man,
He gonna get
listen.
100.
Listen, Father Time is undefeated, and he hit that wall.
I don't even know if it's Father Time, man. It's Eli and the communication.
So coming up in the first quarter, Kyrie was on ESPN and he had some comments about why he chose to leave the Cavs. We're going to discuss that. Stay tuned.
Players on the floor, crowds on their feet. The first quarter starts now.
So when Kyrie chose to join First Take this past week, he didn't give us a lot to go off of. He spoke encrypted code messages. So it's a lot to dissect because that's all we have to do is dissect. So I want to go as much as I can, piece by piece. So the one that made the headlines, obviously, was when he was asked, did you talk to LeBron before you decided to leave the Cavs? And his response was, why should I have to? And they said, basically, if LeBron's feelings was hurt, he didn't take that in consideration. This was a decision that he made. Nationwide, what are your thoughts on that?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Did LeBron talk to any of the Cavaliers players, owners, before he made a decision to go to Miami?
Did he talk to any of the players? Reports that say no.
Okay, so and I don't fault Kyrie. It's like I'm making a business move and a career move for myself. I don't owe LeBron or the Cavalier players anything. Now, I mean, it sucks. You would think that, y'all won games together, won championships together, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna make a move for myself. I'm tired of being in your shadow.
So what did you think of the way he chose to answer, though? Because clearly you don't have to. It's kind of like when you are talking to a girl and you like, who was you with at the movies last night? She's saying no rings on my fingers. Basically, she's saying, like, I don't have to tell you anything. Clearly, you don't have to, which he don't.
Yeah.
He basically told the Cavs ain't no rings on these fingers. Well, I guess there's one, but there's no – he didn't feel that there was a full commitment. So I'm just trying to figure out why he chose to answer it that way of just saying, like, hey, this is the decision I chose to make for myself. I wanted to make a commitment. I didn't want to call LeBron because I felt LeBron would talk me out of it or what have you. He just said, why should I have to? So what does that mean?
It just means he didn't care.
You don't answer a question with a question, B.
He didn't. he didn't care, man.
He didn't graduate from Duke.
I don't think he cared. He didn't care about what the Cavaliers or what LeBron felt. He wanted to do something for himself.
Now, I think he was sending a clear message to the organization because not that he should care, like he said, why should he have to? But the fact that he chose to answer it that way was like, yo, I'm speaking cold, but here's a clear shot that like, yo, I got complete disregard of how y'all may feel about this.
And Nationwide, I got an issue with your thought process. The main thing is that you saying like LeBron didn't do it, but LeBron was a free agent, right? Everybody knew LeBron had a decision to make. He wasn't talking to nobody. He wasn't talking to his mom. He wasn't talking to his friends. He wasn't talking to nobody. He was in his little inner circle with him and his couple boys.
Savannah,
you know what I'm saying? Him and his wife and his kids or something. Now, that everybody that's perceived and known that, you're a free agent, you got a decision to make. Kyrie abruptly is like, yo, I need to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you can't tell LeBron, like, hey, man, look, I'm gone. You might be out of here. I don't know what's going on with you, but, I'm a man and I got to make a best decision for myself. Like,
yeah, I don't fault it at all. I'm not even saying that like he should have called LeBron, especially because this was a decision that he wanted to make. He wanted to set a challenge for himself to see if he can go out there and win it. And he dropped a few cryptic messages about the organization as well, saying that he wanted to play for a coach that would demand more out of him. Now, in the book I read, Tyronn Lue has always been a supporter of Kyrie, and even LeBron put the ball in Kyrie's hands to take the biggest shot in the finals. You would think that the game was set up to let Kyrie go ham, but Kyrie is talking about he want to be in pick and roll and assess the offense and be a true point guard, which that was LeBron's role. So is Kyrie being selfish? They gave you what would be the best role for you, and yet you're still unhappy.
I don't think they gave him what they felt is the best role for the Cavaliers to succeed. And I guess as a coach, that's what you're supposed to do. But Kyrie, I think Kyrie made it clear. He said, I want to be in a situation to where I can play for a coaching staff and an organization that's going to push me to,
and he used the word trust.
Yeah, trust.
So they probably was like, yeah, it's going to be you.
But he want to be in a situation that he feel he can develop and get pushed to reach beyond his potential. He want to be, I guess, considered as one of the top point guards in the league.
You don't think he did that?
No, not in Cleveland. I honestly, personally,
he hit the biggest shot.
Yeah, but that's
in the Cavs' history, but he didn't exceed his potential.
I think he wants to be known or seen as a top point guard in the league, and he's never going to be seen that way.
I don't know. I don't think he wants to be known as a top point guard. He wants to be known as just a top player.
Well, here's the thing about the top point guard, because he also said that when you give so much attention to one player, that's blasphemous. He quoted Stephen A. as saying it's blasphemous. So to me, that's like, okay, you are taking a shot at how much they let LeBron get away with. Hey, he's a savior, man. Not only just for the team, but the city when he came back the poverty went down, or
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you gotta have LeBron. Hey, LeBron runs the show. So he remembers how it was before LeBron got back. So now he's seeing that LeBron's back. He like, man, look, I didn't sign up for this, and I want some of the attention, or I feel like the attention needs to be shared, like OKC 1A and 1B with Durant. He was unhappy with the 1A.
I definitely think he feel that though. Yeah. Like the attention should be shared. Like I hit 41 too. You know what I mean?
But I feel
what's that? Game 5. I hit the game winning shot in the championship.
But my thing though is that if he wants shared responsibility when they taking these L's, he ain't out there stepping in the forefront like it's my fault.
Right.
He ain't never said that. You know what I'm saying?
I think he has put something on himself, but the media not gonna put it on.
Nah, but the only time I ever seen Kyrie actually do something that was admirable was when he stuck up for LeBron
on that pick,
and he got his first technical foul in his career. Now, to go back to the question they was asking Kyrie, like they asked him, do you think going to Boston was like the best decision as far as winning? He stepped around that too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he clearly is not about winning championships. Now, we are not the ones to determine what a man's goals are and what he should do as far as his decisions and, if it's money or winning. But, in general, you should be in the basketball or in the sports to win. And it's like, going to this team is definitely not going to be a more winning situation than being with the Cavs.
I disagree.
Well, I disagree. Yeah. I was going to say,
disagree.
His response didn't say that I'm clearly not about championships. His response was just like, yo, I'm not about to put my foot in my mouth like Dan Gilbert and be like, I'm going to go here next year. We're going to win a championship before LeBron. It was just, time will tell, which was just kind of like a PC answer, I guess I would say. But it wasn't like I don't have faith. I honestly feel like he wants to be on a team to where he could be the reason that they got to the playoffs. And
I think he want to be the focal or the primary leader of the team.
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And then also, I feel like he want to take control of his career, and he don't want to be left at the expense of another player. Reports is they offered him up in a trade, so he didn't like that. And then secondly, if LeBron leave at the end of next year, then it's him and Kevin Love and a whole bunch of nobodies. So that's not going to be a very good team. So I think he wanted to get in a situation to where he could continue to win championships or at least compete for them as well as be a leader. And that's what he accomplished by going to Boston.
Now, so you're telling me that the Derrick Rose addition and everybody else that the Cavs have signed in this offseason, it wouldn't have been a better team with but
you're talking about
Kyrie.
1 year.
I know, but why couldn't he opt out and go into this tirade next year like, I want to get traded?
Well, hang on, though, because according to Kyrie and his cryptic messages, he made it seem like this decision was made even before the season was over.
Right.
It was like, I just wanted to be a distraction during the season. So I think he was LeBron's the greatest, but you know what LeBron brings. He brings so much attention, and it's game-by-game attention. He wins a game, the Cavs are streaking. They lose a game. What's wrong with LeBron? What's wrong with the Cavs? And it's just so much focus on one guy, and he just like, I'm over it.
Nah, man, I just feel like LeBron, he crumbled under pressure, bro. It was too much for him. He want to hide in the shadows and be like, oh, we lose, we win. Like, nah, man, you can't trust nobody who shave off all their facial hair and go on national TV talking that nonsense.
He definitely was looking like,
man. He just shot the Uncle Drew movies.
A little pedophile-ish, a little bit. Uncle Drew is an old man. What are you talking about? He shot Uncle Drew?
He had to shave his personal facial hair so they could put the prosthetics on him or whatever they call it.
Glue.
Man,
glue sticks to hair.
Okay, he shaved his hair for the Uncle Drew movie.
So,
man.
Did anybody check Twitter after he left? Because he could have had a burner Twitter too, and then put his real feelings out there.
Nah, man, I ain't checked Twitter.
Hey, man, like I said,
if he had to shave his hair, he had to shave his head too.
So, break this down to percentages though. If you had to break it down into percentage he left because of LeBron and percentage he left because of the Cavs organization, how would you break that up? How would you break up the pie? Who gets? I'm
gonna go 60 the organization, 40 LeBron.
99% LeBron, 1% the organization.
I gotta give 60% to the organization too, because it seems like LeBron's out of there with him.
And not only that, LeBron's gone, and I don't think he want to be a leftover. But I don't think he respect Coach Lue. I think Coach Lue's a little overrated. He's just got the dogs.
It could be like one of those things to where that's your boy when he's not in that head seat, and then once he gets that head roll, you just like, yo, I don't really like your leadership. You cool when you was an assistant because I could just vent to you. You really had no authority. Now that you have the authority, your decision making is trash.
It could be that, and then also it's just like, I'm trying to be a top point guard. When you play, you wasn't a top point guard. So can you?
Oh my God, man!
Hey,
Brad Stevens ain't never been a top point guard.
Hey, I stepped over you. You know what I'm saying?
Tyronn Lue said, "Look at my ring." So anyway, let's get a regular check. Let's get into a regular league. So nationwide, the Cowboys took a convincing loss to our Broncos.
Of course.
Of course. And some analysts have said that it's because of Dez Bryant taking a loss of step or losing a step. Regular check it.
I'm not. I'm going to wreck it. That's the reason why they lost to the Broncos. The Broncos are just a better team. But as far as Dez losing a step, I think that may be true because he's been injured over the last 2 seasons, and injuries catch up with you. So I think that is starting to slow him down.
Cartier.
Man, y'all crazy if y'all believe that, bruh. Wreck it. Listen here, man. Last year, when pretty much Dez had a connection with Tony Romo, a quarterback that can actually throw the ball.
Oh, so we throwing Dak away.
Dak
Prescott is pretty much the JT Barrett of the NFL. He can't
So now you said don't bench JT, but now you just threw him under the bus.
I ain't threw him under the bus. I'm just saying JT is manageable. He's a college quarterback. Well, I never said JT was an NFL quarterback.
Now,
so Dak Prescott doesn't throw NFL routes that Dez Bryant runs. Therefore, Dez Bryant can't be successful.
You could have some point to that. So anyways, the NBA is trending to overtake football in America's favorite sports. Regular check it.
Record. NFL is still America's favorite sport. I like the NBA, but nobody's surpassing football right now.
All right, man, I got to check that one just because of the technology, like he said, that's in the jerseys earlier. It's a less contact sport. CTE is real, just like climate change. And we need to start paying attention to the NBA, man.
So Cartier it actually just broke on my phone that they are looking to give Roger Goodell an extension. Regular check it. It seems like the players hate him, but here comes a contract extension.
I mean, I'm gonna check that. I mean, Roger Goodell, he has put his foot down, and it seems like what he says goes. He took less money for that extension. I know that for a fact. So, pretty much he's gonna agree to what the owners want to pay him, and what else do you expect?
I'm going to check it as well. Unfortunately, he doesn't work for the players. He represents the owners. He's getting paid by the owners, and he's made them a lot of money. So I'm going to check it.
I guess he wouldn't be so bad if he wasn't judge, jury, and execution.
Yeah, true.
Wow. Anyway, get it out. So nationwide, when Jay-Z was approached to perform at the Super Bowl, he turned it down, man. Regular check it.
I want to check that as well. Like, for one, you don't get paid for performing at halftime shows. I don't know if everybody knew that or not. So you don't get paid for it. Usually people perform during halftime shows because it helps them promote their albums or something. Well, Jay-Z's album's already out. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's already out. So his tour is going to be wrapped up by now. And it's just a sign of him standing with Kaepernick because he's a big supporter of Kaepernick. So,
all right, man. I can check the Kaepernick part, but I'm going to wreck the rest. So, I feel like, Beyonce performed at the actual Super Bowl.
And made a statement
Beyonce
with it, though.
Do it, made a statement, a Kaepernick-ish statement.
Has a rapper ever performed at a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, probably
Nelly.
Nelly.
That ain't rap.
Nelly got up there and sung that country song.
That's country grammar. That ain't rap.
But I feel like that was a stage that he could have used as a platform, and it's irresponsible for him not to go out there and make a statement. Because I know whatever he wanted to do, they would have let him do it.
It would have been dope.
So Cartier, speaking of hip hop, Nicki Minaj is going to release a new album, and she's saying that this new album is going to be the start of a new era in hip hop. Regular checking.
Definitely checking it, man. I feel like Cardi B has motivated her to do great things.
God, Cardi.
All I'm saying is that I love competition, but I don't want them to start beefing as far as Remy and her. No reason to. Cardi ain't looking for beef, and if Nicki trying to just go at her for no reason, hopefully Cardi can come back at her. But, I love to see them work together. You know what I'm saying? And
Cardi ain't got no bars, but she make good music. Nationwide.
She got Offset writing them bars, boy.
I'm going to wreck it.
Nah, man, it's not my rap, D.
No, she don't. So anyways, coming up in the second quarter, we talking Kevin Hart.
Ooh-wee.
As a reminder, make sure you hit the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. If you like what you're hearing, if you're enjoying it, hit the subscribe button so that way you can make sure others get to enjoy the experience as well.
And you already know this show is brought to you by Evolve Athletic Apparel.
Don't settle with being good, evolve to being great.
Finish the half strong. Second quarter starts now.
Now, this has been a very entertaining week. Everything been looking a little funny in the light.
Little funny.
Katie, Kyrie, now the great comedian Kevin Hart. Everybody looking a little funny in the light. Now, when you gonna go out here and
after Kevin, man, came out on his little Instagram and made his apology, I felt like all we could say was,
it was like, yes, it's like, yo, Kev, you got to be smart about it. Where the plastic cup boys at when you need them? So he responded to his wife saying, my rib, and all these posts. Kev gets on interviews and he does PC interviews. And I enjoy his interviews. I find them enlightening. One of the things I don't like what he says in his interviews is when they ask him about comedians having a filter and he's like, yeah, we should. I can tell that was not how he felt. That was a PC answer. So that way he can save face. So when you spend so much energy trying to be a good guy and then something like this happens, you definitely start to look a little funny in the light. So with him...
I mean, like, think about it like this, man. If you was out on the grill all day and you was making some baby backs, you ain't going to chop them up and just eat one rib, man.
So he need more than one. I mean, that's him. He talking about... you can always find a woman with a bigger ass. I don't need nothing else.
I mean, it sounds
he's saying all the right things.
Saying all the right things. But it's like, once you eat one Pringle, you got to eat another one.
Oh, my God.
Man, y'all crazy,
man. What's your thoughts on this whole situation?
Hey, man, I really don't have no thoughts on that situation because I like to personally stay out of people's private matters, man. Like
as he does a podcast talking about everybody's matters.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, see, we speak more from a sports standpoint or rap or entertainment. We don't
talk about the culture, and this is the culture.
We don't get into their private, personal matters.
I didn't ask you to judge them. But I just said what you think about the whole situation.
But I mean,
Nate has cheated on a few of you out there, and he refuses to speak on this. He's like, I ain't getting caught up.
Listen, I don't want to. Right. Listen, I don't want to make cheating sound lightly, but it happens, man. It happens every day. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's a lot of people out here bashing Kevin Hart, like they haven't cheated. Or been
I disagree. I think he finessed the situation perfectly.
He did.
I feel like
he definitely
feel like he should be getting more heat than he's getting right now.
He definitely.
I mean, let's talk about it. A strategic Hurricane Harvey
that's
challenge.
Not strategic, man. Chill with that, man.
It is. It is. The timing of it is like, a strategic, because he could have just donated. Why go out there and make a challenge? I challenge everybody else to donate.
I mean, because, man, you can't, but
no,
you can't sit here in this chair today and just
what do you mean?
I think the apology was a finesse.
No.
Puppy
this story's been out there, though, Nate.
It has.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I'm not going to justify it at the same time.
That was a part of the finesse.
Justify cheating, but at the same time, I'm not about to sit here and bash him or judge him about it. Things happen. It's not right at all. You know what I'm saying?
Hang on, man.
You can't sit here and say that where his heart was as far as the donations. Like, he may have people down in Houston.
It was definitely genuine to donate. Right. I'm just saying the timing in which he said the challenge was a finesse.
No, man.
It wasn't finesse.
It wasn't, man. It was just, he didn't know Harvey was coming.
Yeah, right. I was about to say that.
What do you mean he didn't know Harvey was coming?
Harvey.
That doesn't mean that you can't take a situation and capitalize. Yeah, absolutely.
Man,
wrong.
He definitely capitalized.
I personally believe he would have done that regardless, man. I mean,
he would have done what?
Guess what? I can't convince you that he wouldn't have. You can't convince me that he would have, so we can move on.
I still don't understand. I'm still not trying to convince you of anything.
No, but I'm trying to tell you that I believe he would have given that money regardless if he cheated or not. And you're telling me that he was a finesse move and he wouldn't have.
No, that's not what I'm saying. My point is he would have donated. I thought it was finesse to present it as a donation challenge. And then on top of that, to get out there and do that apology and then spin it. So then now the girl is getting not all the heat, but she's getting heat. And his wife is getting heat, but he's not getting he's getting Twitter jokes, but he's not getting criticism. He ain't being dropped from no endorsements or anything.
Why would he get dropped? I mean, Jay-Z went and put it on a song.
Hey,
Why would he get dropped? Ask Tiger Woods that. You know what I'm saying? Like you lose endorsements when you do situations like this.
Some people do, some people don't. Like Kobe didn't lose none of his endorsements. And tell me, I'm not about to sit here and say a whole bunch of people.
Kobe did lose his endorsement.
Who?
Nike.
No, he didn't.
That's why he was wearing every shoe in the book.
He didn't lose no endorsement.
Yes, he did.
He never.
He was a free agent.
Yo, he never lost the Nike endorsement.
Hold on. Why was he wearing all them random shoes?
He was wearing Jordan.
No, he was wearing shoes other than Nike.
No, listen. Kobe never lost his endorsement. They just like put it on pause. They didn't put out no signature shoe.
Therefore, he lost his endorsement.
And I got to call Nationwide out on this, man, because when I ask a question, he says, I'm not going to judge it.
Nah,
I'm not going to judge.
Listen, man,
but if you check our chat, we're telling you not to judge people so quickly. Every situation that comes up, you throw out a judgment and it's like, stop judging.
No.
And now you're going to get on here and
because
be Kevin Hart and PC?
I feel like a lot of people bash him like this doesn't happen every day. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't. Number one,
I haven't seen the bash. I've seen a lot of Twitter jokes. I've seen a lot of jokes.
Listen, number one.
They made it. They auto-tuned it.
Listen, number one, the internet will forever be undefeated. That's what we learned from this situation. But at the same time, like I said, I feel like this is a private matter for him. If I'm Kevin Hart, I don't think I would never publicly apologize.
You got to.
I don't think so. I don't owe the fans nothing.
It's not about his fans.
You do owe the fans.
He's publicly. He's not apologizing to the fans. It's not for the fans. It's for his wife. He's able to step out in front of the world and say, "Hey, I cheated. I'm sorry." And now the world knows, and then he can repair his home. That's why I feel the apology was for.
Well, on top of that, if he was being extorted and said, I'm going to put the video out, you got to get ahead of it. Y'all know that. Y'all got to get ahead of the story. That's what the apology's for.
I mean, but that's getting ahead of the story, not necessarily apologize.
How do you get ahead of it without apologizing? You going to sit out there and say I cheated without any type of remorse? Like, you definitely got to throw the apology with it to get people on your side, Nate.
I guess.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. And so another person that was in the news was Jemele Hill. Jemele Hill chose to speak her mind on Twitter as how she feels about number 45 and saying that he's a white supremacist. Now, the thing is, did she get suspended?
They suspended her for one
episode.
Yeah.
Okay. So should your business or the company you work for still fault you for your personal Twitter handle when you're off the clock? So at what point do you take the brand off? When I'm not on SportsCenter, do I take the brand off? If I'm not on ITL, do I take the brand off?
I think because, well, before I dive into that, shouts out to everyone else at ESPN, Michael Eaves, L. Duncan, people who refused to step up in her place to do the show because they basically said, we stand by Jemele, which she should. But I feel like with the position that she's in, that she's a public spokesperson for ESPN that represents ESPN, I don't think you really never off the clock in terms of what you can say and what you cannot say on Twitter or any other social medias. Like,
understandable.
Like, I feel like because what you put on social media live forever.
But here's the argument, though. I think ESPN and suspending her and doing an apology in an attempt to not offend one side of the political party.
You offend another side.
Yeah. They, so it wasn't.
But that's why they try to tell all their people to stay away from any type of political.
Said Disney ain't about that. Mickey Mouse.
You know what I'm saying?
Mickey Mouse ain't got no political party. Cardi, what you think, man?
I mean, I think it's just crazy how Miss Texas could get on stage and be asked the exact same pretty much question as Jemele was and give the exact same answer, and then she was like giving an applause. You know what I mean?
No.
I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying, but Miss Texas doesn't represent anybody but herself.
I mean, I understand that, but I'm saying is that she can do that, and then Jemele comes out and then she's condemned for it. By the same people.
Right. No, I mean,
so I just feel like it's an ill double standard. I don't know what it's about, but the fact that is possible is crazy.
Should the brand come off at some point?
No, it shouldn't come off. But I don't think that standing for general equality, there's nothing wrong with that. Therefore, the brand should just kick rocks. As far as if she was coming out saying something crazy, then yeah. But I mean, what's wrong with everybody having equal rights?
But another thing is, I feel like
Cap trying to figure out the same thing.
But it's just another thing too. Like, I feel like you can criticize people or the president, whatever you want to call them, but when she said white supremacist, that became trigger words, and that makes
because that gave him a title and name call.
That conjures up a ton of feelings between people that's with that or people that's against that. You know what I'm saying? So I think she could have came out and criticized him, but once she said white supremacist, that changed everything.
So, do you respect her for not having a burner Twitter on this one?
Oh no, I definitely respect her, and I stand with her with that. You know what I'm saying? And I, it's a lot of people that's coming out and supporting her. Of all races. Yeah. It's not like our community; it's all races. So,
I mean, it's freedom of speech, man. She can say what she want to say. She said it. ESPN, they did their little suspension just to kind of come off like, they did something. And she still got her job. So, point proven. Next.
So, Cartier, we got the halftime coming up. What we doing this week?
Man, we going to go ahead and dive into this week's picks, man. We got a couple college, couple pro. And we also going to get into, what did we do last week? We did the whole lock pick, but I think we're going to do something different. We're going to do a breakout performer that you think is going to have a good game this coming week. So let's go ahead and dive into that. Halftime, baby. All right, fellas, this is week 2 of Quick Picks. In Quick Picks, we always take 2 college games, make a decision, and we take 2 pro games and make another decision. And we also going to switch it up this week, and we're going to pick one breakout performer from the National Football League. All right, so nationwide, we're going to start with you. We got Mississippi State at Georgia. Now, Mississippi State last week, they took down LSU and Darius Geis. Easy. And they playing Georgia this week. Now, Georgia's actual quarterback is hurting their backups in. So who you got? Mississippi State at Georgia.
I'm going to go Mississippi State for the dub, man. Nick Fitzgerald, he's probably like an underrated quarterback that many people are not talking about with the likes of Rosen and Darnold and the rest of the guys that everyone wants to speak on. He's a guy who had, over 1,000 yards rushing last year, 2,400 yards passing. So I think they're going to get the dub in Georgia.
All right, nationwide, I got Mississippi State. Who you got?
Clearly, if Georgia's quarterback is out, it makes it lopsided. I'm going with Mississippi State as well. Fitzgerald ain't trying to mess this up and end up at Last Chance U.
Oh, man. All right, man. Looks like I'm losing this week, so I'm definitely going to have to go against the grain and pick Georgia. They're at home. Go Dogs. All right, so game 2 for college. We got TCU, my man Kenny Trill, taking on the Mike Gundy Mullets, a.k.a. Oklahoma State. Who you got? Cartier. Cartier.
To talk to the third person.
Pick your name.
So, I think both games is all about the quarterback play. So Mason Rudolph is trending to be a Heisman favorite, with his quarterback play. So I'm also going with Oklahoma State.
Definitely going with Oklahoma State, man. That's one of the teams I picked for the playoffs, and definitely Mason Rudolph is killing the game right now. So I'm picking Oklahoma State.
Man, Kenny Trill, man, what you gonna do for me? I can't even roll with you, dog. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta roll with the party in the back, business in the front. Mike Gundy Mullets, man. Oklahoma State for the win. All right, man. So for our pro game this week, I'm gonna mix it up for y'all. Normally we pick 2 great games. All 4 teams got good records, but let's start with the Falcons versus the Lions, man. The Falcons 2-0, so are the Lions. This looks like the beast of the NFC. Who you got, man?
So the Lions starting off 2-0 for the first time in forever, right? And they're at home. So this is going to be their real test. They beat the Cardinals week 1, beat the Giants, who's in a lot of turmoil. So this is going to be their real test, but I think they failed that test. I'm going with the Falcons.
I'm going with Atlanta Falcons too as well. I don't think Lions played much of a schedule thus far. And, the Super Bowl, or at least the NFC champions from last year, I think the Falcons are going to get the job done.
All right, man, I feel like this game rests on the shoulders of Amir Abdullah. The Lions have not had a 100-yard runner since Reggie Bush. And then before that, I'm pretty sure it was Barry Sanders. So I'm definitely going to have to I'm going to go with the Lions, man. I got to go with the money.
Real test.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Got to go with that change. My man Matthew Stafford earning that check, man. So we're going to see what he's going to do. I got Lions. All right, now this one is the switch up. All right, so this game right here is to decide who is the number 1 pick in the 2018 NFL Draft. We got the Browns at the Colts. We got Deshaun Kaiser versus my man Jacoby Brissett. Who you got?
Yeah, I don't even know why we're picking this game, but the Colts are not going to win a game until Andrew Luck comes back, so I'm going with the Browns.
So me and Nationwide riding the whole way. We ride till the wheels fall off. And my YouTube viewers, y'all see the hat I got on. Go Tribe. So I'm going with the Browns as well. The Colts definitely will not win without Andrew Luck. The Browns got Peppers, and they got Kaiser. So they at least got something to be hopeful for. So I'm going with the Browns as well.
All right, man, I got 2 words for you, man. Malik Hooker. All right, you know what I'm saying? 1 game, 1 interception. And then he going to have 2 games, 2 interceptions. But that ain't going to be enough. I got the Browns, baby. All right, so just to let y'all know what the records are going into this week, I am 1-3, and these guys are 2-2. So hopefully I can bounce back. I tried to go against the grain, pick some games that they didn't decide. So we're going to see what we got, man. We're going to post the record online. Go ahead and check it out at the IG, ITL.
Hang on, we got these breakout performers real quick. Now, my breakout performer, he's already broke out because he's a Super Bowl champion, but I just think he bounces back. The Seattle Seahawks line hasn't been the greatest. Offensive line playing in the NFL just hasn't been the greatest. But I'm going with Papa Russ, as they call him. Papa Russ Wilson is going to have a breakout game this week.
You talking about Mr. Sierra?
Mr. Sierra. And they playing the Titans. They got a perfect time to break out.
All right. Who you got, Nation?
And for my own personal reasons, my fantasy team, I need Sammy Watkins to break out. He got traded to the LA Rams. Wow, that's funny, LA Rams. But yeah, he got traded to that team, man. Him and Goff been trying to find their, chemistry together. They play the 49ers. I think he has a big game.
I'm sorry, man. Cooper Kupp is the leader on that team, and he will remain the leader. But for me, my breakout performer is going to be Christian McCaffrey, man. They're definitely getting a break this week. The Aints is coming to town, so I feel like Drew Brees and them, they're going to get down. And I think their defense doesn't play much. Man, shout out to Von Bell, though. He's doing his best out there with the rest of those bums. He's definitely went to the great state of Ohio State. So I'm going to say Christian McCaffrey definitely either goes for over 150 total yards, maybe 100 rushing. All right, man. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this third quarter to get this money.
Are made in the second half. What are you made of? Show me what you got in the third quarter.
Now, a few episodes ago when we were debating the top running back in the league, Nationwide defined the top running back as a pure runner, somebody that's a pure runner of the football. Now, me and Cartier, we look at the top running back as somebody that could contribute to the game in multiple ways, whether it's catching out of the backfield, whether it's blocking, whether it's running the ball. Now, Zeke didn't have one of his best performances. This is actually the worst performance he had as a pro. 9 carries, 8 yards. So Nationwide, this is the person you've crowned the best running back in the league. 9 carries, 8 yards. How do you explain that? Now, before you do that, let's not forget the Giants head coach said all running backs run the same when they have nowhere to run. And Zeke clearly had nowhere to run, which is why Bell contributes to the game more because you can throw to him.
Yo, I mean, all running backs have been shut down at one point in their career. I mean, that's going to happen in the league. 9 carries, 8 yards. I call that good Denver Broncos defense. That's what I call that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Shouts out to
booming.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, son.
Hey,
I don't want to hear that.
That's what I call that.
Y'all tripping, bro. Y'all homers, man. Y'all straight homers.
But, no, honestly, I call that good Denver Broncos defense. Number one, he only got 9 carries, so he didn't even get a chance to get going. You know what I mean? It's hard for you to say a running back got shut down when he only got the ball 9 times.
That ain't hard to say.
Yeah.
8 yards?
Yeah, 9 carries, 8 yards, but maybe the 10th carry goes for 50. You know what I'm saying? Like a running back like Zeke, you got the feed on the ball. Keep getting on the ball. You know, whether if you getting the ball, handing it off to him, or you throw a screen pass. Finding ways to get him the ball, get him in the lane. Get him in open space where he can, take off and make a big play.
But you know what's crazy? Nationwide can sit here and say, the 10th carry can go for 50. But last week, I swear he was just arguing that Adrian Peterson was washed up, and his 10th carry wasn't worth nothing.
I never said Adrian Peterson was washed up at all. I'm a big fan of Adrian Peterson.
No, I don't think so.
I said Adrian Peterson should have got
I think it
more
was you,
carries.
actually, because you were saying, the carries was balanced because everybody had 6 or something.
No. I never said it.
Yeah. I feel like Adrian Peterson need to be getting 20 carries again.
All right, good. I'm just I have to check you. I have to check, make sure he was consistent.
Go ahead.
But I mean, Ezekiel Elliott, man, I feel like his just terrible game didn't have a lot to do with y'all defense. It had to do with effort. You know what I mean? I feel like effort is huge. He clearly wasn't into it. I think he is being distracted by the whole off the field issues.
Possible.
And I feel like, when those interceptions were thrown, he showed zero effort. He had no Maurice Clarett in him to go down there and get the ball back or make a tackle on the defender. So, I feel like, he just wasn't into the game completely. Because normally, that's what makes Zeke one of the best in the game is effort. He goes out there and he blocks like he's like that block is going to win the Super Bowl. Or he catches those passes and make guys miss and does the extra things, is trying to fight for that extra yard or jump over somebody, put himself in what is that word?
So this is what I took from
in danger. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. No, I'm not finished, buddy.
I thought you was.
You know what I'm saying? Put himself in harm's way. So, he just got to go out there and give it his all. And that's why his coach called him out and said, we're going to have a little talk.
So, this is what I took from this. Zeke is guilty, man. Zeke is guilty as hell because every time he has a game under 100 yards, he's guilty. When Kobe was fighting this case, he dropped 81. Zeke, if you want to convince me, you got to go out there and ball. Otherwise, you looking too nervous. He's guilty as charged, man.
Yeah.
I don't care.
What?
But anyways, nationwide, you got to stop being a supporter of mediocrity, man, because you're defending because you're defending this guy.
I didn't defend him. I said he got shut down by Denver defense.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna say, but I'm about to say you defended him, and just like you defended Odell Beckham when he didn't go to OTAs and he went to Miami, and then he had a poor performance in the Super Bowl or the playoffs, and now he's having a poor performance now. So all that off the field stuff matters.
Well, he's playing with a sprained ankle for one.
See,
Odell.
See,
no, I'm not.
I ain't trying to hear that.
I'm not supporting it, but he's playing with a sprained ankle, and Eli Manning sucks.
So now Eli sucks.
Eli, but you just said Eli always sucked.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, so therefore last season it wasn't on the party.
I'm talking about he only played one game. He had 4 receptions for like 42 yards. Okay, I mean it's not like killing.
A supporter of mediocrity, man. If you gonna miss,
so you mean to tell me receivers?
You know what's contributing to that?
You mean to tell me every great receiver goes for 100 plus?
Well, no. You know what's contributing to that? When Eli had an unscheduled practice with his new receivers and they all went out there and they got timing down.
A lot of players miss OTAs.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean he wasn't training.
He want to be paid more than Stafford.
Listen,
you got to lead, bro.
Listen, a lot of players in general miss OTAs. That doesn't mean he wasn't training and running his routes.
So before I transition into the leadership, Cartier, do you think Zeke quit on the team?
That game, yeah, I feel like he wasn't all in. I ain't gonna sit here and say he quit, but he wasn't all in. I mean, if he pulled a Norris Cole, if you throw an interception or an interception happen, he should have just.
To Norris' defense, he was a QB though.
It don't matter.
And they kind of want QBs to get out the way.
Nah, man, you stand in the way and you try to stop it, but a little bit.
So we gonna compare an NFL player to a quarterback, sophomore or junior quarterback.
No, we gonna compare an NFL player to an NBA player. Right? Don't act like his whole career ended at Dunbar.
I think that's the first time. The first time that the Dallas Cowboys have gotten really punched in the mouth since they had Zeke and Dak Prescott. They lost 2 games, but they
quit.
Yeah, in that game, yeah.
But
like
I mean, he's done that before. You know what I'm saying? He got punched in the mouth in Michigan State. I don't want to hear that he had a staph infection in his leg and all that nonsense.
But at the same time, he called out the coaches in that game like, y'all ain't giving me the ball.
But exactly, but that's a sucker move. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like when things get hard, Zeke start acting weird. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, a lot of players a lot of players are Sir Lewis losers.
So for your
a lot of players is Sir Lewis.
It's Ray Lewis. So for your top running back in the league, also somebody you just said quit. You really gonna give him the crown? Let's think about leadership for a second, though, Nate.
Listen,
if you're the top running back, you got to hustle back. Just like if Odell want to be the top paid receiver, he got to go to these voluntary workouts.
But I definitely have seen receivers and running backs get frustrated at a quarterback throwing an interception. That's not the first time I've seen that.
But you run down the field and you continue
to play to the standard, right?
Maybe
he the number one. If you're gonna be number one, you got to have that leadership and lead by example.
I mean, look, man. I mean, if you're a professional coach sniffer and a boob snatcher, then it's like, you know what I'm saying? What do you expect at this point, It's just like, Zeke is going down the wrong road and he's leading all these kids into damnation.
I definitely didn't like his performance, or not even his performance. I didn't like his body language. And you don't want to see that as a head coach. But like I said, that's the first time that they got punched in the face. Like, even in their losses last year, they still put up points and had success, carrying the ball, throwing it in the air. They never just got completely shut down until they played Denver. So that's something new for them. Hopefully he bounced back and they can repair that.
I mean, they got another L coming against the Raiders because, the NFC West played the NFC East this year. So I'm sorry, bro.
So another question I saw popping up everywhere, and I think this was because the players were recruiting them, but I saw, should the Bengals sign Kaepernick? Is that where that's coming from? Where the players saying
That's what the reports.
Yeah,
got
that's
some
what the reports are saying.
So should they?
Might as well. I mean, that or play AJ McCarron. My thing is like, man, look, dude. The Red Rider, he is out there throwing interceptions left and right. He had a 4-interception game. That's unacceptable. He doesn't look like he's comfortable. AJ Green's numbers are down. Therefore, my fantasy team is losing. So, you know, I definitely need more production out of AJ Green. So we need a change. And you might as well just bring in Cap and throw the whole quarterback away, man.
You can't throw AJ away. They paying him too much money.
Don't throw AJ away.
Dalton away. You can't throw Dalton away. They paying him too much money.
It's time. It's time.
Huh?
Like, okay, number one, they're about to lose to the Packers, so they're going to be on 3. Your season's over at that point. So they're not going to bring Kaepernick in this year. Honestly, I don't think Kaepernick gets a job, but I think they have to put AJ McCarron in and see what he has. You have to find out because him and Dalton both will be free agents at the end of the year.
They need to trade AJ to the Broncos.
Nah, Simmons looks good so far. Simmons looking good so
Simmons
far.
looking good, yeah.
So far.
Till he played the Raiders.
Man, look. Marshawn is the life and soul of that team, and he's
Let's talk about Marshawn.
Let's talk about Marshawn.
So Marshawn getting hyphy on the sideline, it just makes it fun, right, to watch the Raiders.
But my thing, though, go ahead.
He makes it fun to watch football.
He makes it fun to watch football, and he's the only one out there, without saying much, right, in interviews, has an individual personality, and that's why you tune in.
Exactly. But my thing, though, is like, I can't believe that somebody from the Jets had the audacity to come out to the media and say, yeah, I felt disrespected by him doing that. No, but wait, let me see.
As a Jet, that's kind of Bush League. It's Bush League.
What you mean?
As an outside, like as a spectator, because there's a lot of spectators who's criticizing Marshawn Lynch, like, y'all fans. Y'all,
For getting hyphy?
Y'all ain't got nothing to say.
You can't get hyphy?
I don't even know where he at with this.
As a Jet, like, I don't want to see an opponent. Like, that's like just as bad as y'all, like, showboating. That's showboating. That's what Marshawn was doing.
No. Showboating is literally you do a play, you walk up to a person on the opposing team, and you do something directly to them, or you're pointing at their sideline.
Man, he's showboating in time.
As a Jet, I don't want to see a butt fumble. They ain't got room to be talking about somebody showboating. Get a good product out there on the field.
I'm not mad at the Jets for saying, coming out saying like, man, that's terrible.
That's like saying, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. It's a Super Bowl. Okay. Pretty much, you should get mad every time that the players pour Gatorade on the coach.
That's after the game.
That's not after the game.
No, that's after the game.
No,
you don't see nobody pouring Gatorade on the coach with 3 minutes left.
Nate, you know the rule of sports, though. You don't like it, you got to stop it.
No, true.
Yeah.
But at the same time, no, that's a true statement. But at the same time, I'm saying I'm not mad at them. Like, I'm not about to sit here and bash the Jets like, oh, y'all saw.
Again, a supporter of mediocrity.
I'm not a supporter of mediocrity. I'm not a supporter of mediocrity.
You pretty much Chris Paul of this podcast.
Right.
Oh, there you go.
The bum of his podcast,
The
Peters.
bum of this podcast. Yo,
What's up with the guy, man?
That's funny.
All I'm saying, though, bro, is listen, you cannot literally sit here and defend the Jets players. Like, pretty much you're defending anybody that's offended by a celebration. Like, after you scored, you're not supposed to celebrate. He got his first touchdown in Oakland. He's from Oakland, and he's on the sideline dancing immediately after.
What's
wrong with that?
Listen, I like the
You
dance.
ain't got the passion. You don't want to win.
I like the dance. I enjoyed it, and I'm glad to see Marshawn back in football. All I'm saying is, as a Jet, I'm not about to sit here and bash the Jets for feeling that type of way.
But you don't come out to the media and say, yeah, I was salty. Like, you say, yeah, man. I mean, he did what he did. We got to improve as a team. We got to go out there and win. Therefore, he can't celebrate.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
So wrapping it up, we're going to jump into this fourth quarter. The Yeezy jumped over the jump, man.
Fake news.
Who has the heart to be clutch? This is the difference between good and great. Finish strong. Fours up.
I was chilling at the crib this past Monday, and I got a pleasant surprise, man. I cut on the TV, and then Missy Misdemeanor Elliott popping up on a Hip Hop Honors, the 90s edition. And I forgot, man, the 90s had hits, and they had all-stars and everything came from the 90s. So
man, she did a whole video in a sweatsuit.
and she was before her time too, because all that weird stuff is in now.
But not a sweatsuit, like
sauna suit. She was like out there working out
in a trash bag.
Kanye's workout plan a little bit. But there was a lot of hit and top actors and top rappers that came from the 90s, and it got me thinking, if I put In Living Color up against Chappelle's show, what would be your favorite? They both are pertinent to the culture. In Living Color produced a lot of top.
He said Chappelle show.
Dog.
Who you rolling with, Nate?
Man, this is hard because personally, I
should I ask you which one's better, or should I ask you which was more beneficial?
See, that's two different questions.
Ask you both. Ask you one.
That's completely two different questions because, like, as far as more entertaining, for me, I think Chappelle's show was a lot more funnier and just more entertaining to me. But when you look at Living Color, like they was on in like the early 90s where it wasn't a lot of, black shows on TV at the time. And then just the people that they had on the show that they, exposed and that later became stars. Everybody from, Shawn Wayans, Marlon Wayans, Jamie Foxx, Kenny Ivory Wayans, Jim Carrey, like Tommy Davidson. They had stars, bruh. Like all the people I just named plus more went on to like be on in lead characters in movies or have their own TV shows. Like In Living Color was crazy. I don't think you could put a cast together today that has the potential that show had.
Man, straight up, man. Let me say this, man. All right, Living Color literally had. It was the most diverse show that you've ever seen. All right, you had black, white, Asian, Latin, and everything in between. Right? You had, Jim Carrey was one of the lead guys. All the Wayans, Jamie Foxx, Jennifer Lopez was a fly girl out there doing her thing, and then you had people like Lori Ann Gibson, bro. Y'all
Rosie
remember Lori Ann
Perez.
Gibson from Diddy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's funny, yo. I was
Boom
flicking
Cat.
through channels.
That's Boom Cat. Yeah.
Boom. But look, crazy thing is I was flicking through the channels and Dance Moms was on, and bro, she's on there going crazy.
Hang on, he wasn't flicking through the channels to Dance Mom. He watched weekly Dance Moms.
There y'all go, bro.
I was flicking through the. All right, go ahead.
And my man Steve Park. It's the Asian dude. Y'all may not know him, but he's real famous. All right, so Chris Rock was on there too. Kim Coles, everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like most influential and impactful is definitely Living Color. Yeah. But I even say that they were funnier just because it was so different. Every skit was different. Like you could say, all Dave Chappelle really brought to the game was him and Ashley Larry, like and Charlie Wilson. Not Charlie Wilson.
Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy. Charlie Murphy. All right, but it was, but he didn't go as long. It wasn't as many seasons. But so in his short amount of time, it was definitely memorable. But Living Color, man, you had, good Lord, that's a lot of money. Or
absolutely,
you had Jim Carrey with
Fire Marshal Bill.
Fire Marshal Bill.
Yeah.
You had what's something?
Bozo the Clown.
Bozo the Clown with the sock.
Definitely funny. Anton Jackson. Man, listen.
Bruh, then you had the two dudes. You had the two dudes that was dressed like chicks, kind of. And then
Jamie Foxx,
Tommy Davidson.
My guy Eric Bishop.
Bruh, it was a lot.
Hated it.
Yeah, exactly.
Men on film.
And then they brought the dancers. Like the Fly Girls are infamous, dude. Like
J-Lo, hey ho.
See, here's the thing. So
Champagne Room, baby.
You could definitely say that without In Living Color, there would be no Chappelle show.
Right.
In Living Color showed range in Black Hollywood. They put these people on stage that put them in multiple skits, as you say, but it wasn't just like be this one way. It showed that you can be multiple characters.
You can be everybody.
Is what birthed the great Jamie Foxx. But on top of that, culturally, to at the end of the show and sometimes during the show, include hip hop, include Wu-Tang, include all these top rap artists on the show, and then birth J-Lo, and J-Lo ain't aged since that show. You know what I'm saying?
Same age.
So I mean,
she got the juice.
Clearly, In Living Color was the foundation and the blueprint. Now, Chappelle's show reminds me of a Little Red Fox of 100 jokes that shouldn't be said, or I Say What You Scared to Say, and Bernie Mac. He puts skits out there that makes you like, yo, how is this allowed? And then it creates conversation and dialogue like, yo, he ain't just bring this from his head. Is this stuff really going on? Now, one of my favorite skits is the Clayton Bigsby, man. I love that skit.
That skit is crazy.
but they both add values because Dave Chappelle, not only did he do music, he didn't only stick to like the top acts. He said, "This is what I listen to. That's who's coming on my show." So Most Def, Most Def was one of my favorite performers on there.
My dude was dope.
Yeah, and like I wasn't really a Most Def fan, but listen to some of his freestyles on there. It made me tune in. I still ain't listened to no albums, but hey, he got bars.
He said, "But I watched him on Brown Sugar."
You know what I'm saying?
You
right.
Feel me?
And 16 blocks, but. Yeah, so In Living Color birthed everybody. Chappelle's show didn't. It wasn't like, let me find some new comedians that don't have a platform.
Right.
Like In Living Color did.
Ashley Larry. And a bunch of those other guys.
Yeah, true. But
Wayne Brady on it.
Wayne Brady, but
No,
Wayne
he
Brady
was
was already.
He was.
Charlie Murphy. So I guess he wasn't like you're new, but it was just like, yo, a lot of people, the masses don't know about you.
Yeah.
Let me put you on a platform.
Bro, the
and
Wayne
see.
Brady skit
And
where he was
Chappelle got up,
was super gangster,
Yeah,
and they was in the car. He told him to eat the sandwich or something. It was something crazy, bro. It was wild.
Bro,
I love it, man. So,
Chappelle
Show.
shows that came after that, with Key and Peele, did they do
They
it justice?
didn't live up to it. They had a few bright moments, just like the draft, where they had all those funny names.
It just went too far though.
But I
like,
feel like, bro,
it went too long. It was like, all right, cut the skit.
that too, but I feel like the problem with like Shawn Wayans, right, is that he's extra. He tries too hard to me, and I feel like Key and Peele were kind of that.
You ever seen Sean in person, by the way?
No.
Because he does, him and Marlon go on tour, and I'm like,
No, I'm sorry, not
stand
Sean.
up?
No, Marlon.
Marlon.
Marlon is super extra.
That's what I meant.
But they both go on tour though, so I was wondering, like, what does Sean do?
Marlon is the problem. I'm sorry, listeners.
You got to be in the mood
to.
You got to be in the mood to watch Marlon. I'll be
Like Marlon ruined G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe was supposed to be as big as Transformers, and they were supposed to merge, on the screen.
I disagree.
What do you mean?
I don't think he ruined it.
He didn't necessarily ruin
not
it,
G.I. Joe.
but he added too much of that extra humor, and it was just like it was supposed to be a serious, like Transformers is kind of funny, but it's serious. Like you get to a serious point where the world's ending.
Listen.
Like he was just goofy.
The funniest sketch on Key and Peele is when they explain the black handshake.
Oh, you want Barack Obama?
Yeah.
Hey, that was hilarious.
Black
He
green
walked
versus
through-
how you greet white people. That's the funniest sketch
That was
ever.
nuts. That was ill.
Let me move on real quick. So Adidas, the reports are that they've surpassed the Jordan brand as the number 2 most popular shoe. What does that mean? Did Kanye succeed?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that lyric is true.
It's yes and no.
And Jordan gotta eat the cake, anime.
It's yes and no. But you have to understand that Jordan is primarily a basketball shoe. You know what I'm saying? And actually, Jordan ain't lost no money. They still had slight growth, but
no, but they've sustained. They're pretty much they're here.
They're saying it's
They're on the same level,
They're
right?
slight growth, and they're primarily a basketball shoe. Adidas surpassed them in shoe sales. They've been taking advantage of the lifestyle market or lifestyle segment, if you want to call it that, with Yeezy, with Pharrell.
But that's the
Stan
difference
Smith, and
between
Superstar.
dad jeans and skinnies.
If
you know what I'm saying?
If you want to call that that.
No,
if you
no,
wanna call
it is that. Jordan is dad jeans.
So I think Adidas have found a segment or found a niche that they really could take advantage of, and they've been excelling at that. And I think definitely it's a win for Adidas. But to say they took over Jordan, you have to understand that Jordan still is just a subsidiary of Nike.
Okay.
You put Nike and Jordan together, they still
No, but it's
throwing
different,
Adidas
bro,
out
but
the
it's
window.
different. Okay, but listen though, before today, Jordan was still blowing everybody out the window. So you just downplaying Adidas' success like it's nothing. Like they're
Right.
coming from the bottom of the bottom. So I feel like what was I about to say? Adidas to Jordan is like
But you're comparing out. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, what was you
No,
about to
I
say?
was about to say you about to compare an entire shoe brand. So that's lifestyle, that's basketball, that's running, training shoes. You got to compare an entire shoe company to a company that mainly is just
But why
manufacture
Jordan?
basketball
Why
shoes.
can't Jordan be all of that?
Because that's
He
not
does.
what,
he
that's
used
not
to be.
He
The
sells it.
retros are lifestyle.
They're not lifestyle. They're basketball
No.
shoes that we made lifestyle.
No, but they're still lifestyle.
Man, that's their basketball shoes.
But they're still lifestyle.
I saw it coming, to be honest.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
saw Adidas overtaking them.
He makes the Roger Federer joints. Those are lifestyle.
Those tennis shoes.
They're lifestyle.
They're tennis
still
athletic shoes.
lifestyle.
All right. I saw it coming though, because let's think about it. When it comes to Jordan, what Jordan you buying that ain't a Jordan 1 through 14? You only buying retros, and it's not like
it's a few that I
it's not like you can walk in the store and
post-retro.
just buy them. But the Boost, so it's not Yeezy versus Jordan retros, like you said. It's
Right, it's
Adidas
Adidas
versus
company,
Jordan.
yeah.
And if it ain't the 1 through 14, you not even batting an eye at them. The Melos is trash. The CP3s is trash.
yeah.
The boots that Russ wear is trash. But
whose
when you
fault
look
is
at them,
that?
you
It's
look at them,
Jordan's
you
fault.
look at them Yeezy boots and Adidas boots. You like, yo, I can get down with those. The Adidas NMDs, you can get down with that.
But it's just been a shift away from basketball shoes in general. Like, because I think the report said basketball
'Cause the
shoes
Uzi Vert.
have been on a decline in recent years, and people are transitioning to lifestyle shoes.
So let me ask you, because that just made me think. So you know how they say Jordans people kill over Jordans because that's what's popular. So if they transition and we transition into Adidas Boost and people start dying over Adidas Boost, is it Yeezy's fault?
Pretty much, man. Yeezy will go on the stage and say, like, y'all need to stop. He will use the platform and actually speak on it.
What, killing?
Yeah.
Like he did Chicago?
Yeah.
Where he from?
Right,
he ain't never denounced that.
Like,
I ain't never heard
But I mean, he can't necessarily speak on that because, I mean, he's not in the streets. You know what I'm saying? He ain't a blood or a crip or a gang member.
Yo, I mean, it's a definite win for Adidas because just a few years ago, Under Armour was the second, or I guess third in the market behind Jordan.
But gonna overtake Adidas?
And Adidas have surpassed
all
of them.
Gonna overtake Adidas?
Yeah.
Evolve. Say it with me. So, as always, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you're listening to the show and you're like, these guys are professionals, you're right. If you're listening to the show and you're like, these guys are amateurs and they don't know shit, you're right as well. This is Johnny Will. Make sure you follow the Instagram page at jwill_Graham. Make sure you follow the Intramural League Instagram page at d.itl. I'm signing out. Much love.
Yo. This is Nationwide Nate. Follow me, IG, Natwan4, Twitter, Natwan4, Facebook. Follow me on all the platforms, Natwan. Nationwide signing out.
He said I don't want to give my last name on Facebook. But it's Cartier, man. I definitely want y'all to follow your boy King Meech DYT on all platforms. Visit the ITL page on Instagram at d.itl. But I feel like, man, on a day-to-day basis, the way you should live your life is you should have a Kanye attitude with Drake feelings, man. All right, so what that means is you need to have utmost confidence, man, but you definitely got to tap into yourself and open up yourself.
He's like signaling the hell out of you right now.
Right. Time out. My bad. Yo, I have something else to say, man. Because he got to close it off and get in his
Go ahead, man. Do your thing.
Midnight 102.9 voicing-ish. But my bad.
It's called The Quiet Storm.
Quiet Storm. You getting into all that. Check out the YouTube channel, Intramural League. Follow us, subscribe, leave feedback, leave comments. Go ahead.
This guy. So back to what I was saying about the Kanye attitude and Drake feelings, man. You know what I'm saying? You definitely got to walk around like can't nobody touch you. But you gotta have your inner feelings. You gotta feel them, you know what I'm saying? Therefore, you can have good relationships with people, your girl, your mistresses, all them. You know what I'm saying? That's ill. But
I can't take him serious.
Straight up, man. We appreciate y'all presence and listening to the show. Again, mash that play button whenever you can and tell your friends to mash it too. Mashed potatoes, baby. ITL out.